In this video, I'm going to show you as quickly as I can how the current Torah portion of Devarim, which is the first little portion of the book of Deuteronomy, is actually all about the Cainites and specifically Jethro and the Nephilim, who are Cainites themselves. So the Nephilim, you've probably heard of as giants, and we'll see there's a link there as well. So in this Torah portion, you can find all of the names of the Nephilim, who are Cainites, and the most famous Cainite of all is Jethro, and you can also find his name hidden in this Torah portion as well. So it's important to know that the Cainites and the Nephilim are related. They have the same value in gematria. And we have here the giant, which also are related to the Nephilim. And you can see that they are also a match for this spelling of the Nephilim. So here we have the giants, here we have the Nephilim here. And remember this as we're going through the chapter, that we have the Ammonite here, which is, according to the sages, synonymous or the same as the cainite. And they both just happen to have this exact same value in gematria as well. So the cainite is the Ammonite, and you'll see how this is all connected to the giants and the Cainites and the Nephilim. Okay, so let's begin. So in Deuteronomy 1, you should have heard some of this stuff before. And Moses kind of starts out by going over his conversation with Jethro. This is a copy of what went on in Exodus 18, as you'll see here. There's more here, but here's the one that really stands out. So I took your tribal leaders, wise and experienced men, and appointed them heads over you, chiefs of thousands, chiefs of hundreds, chiefs of 50s, chiefs of tens, and officials for your tribes. Where have we heard this before? Who gave Moses this advice? Jethro in Parashat Jethro, Exodus 18. You shall seek out from among all the people capable men who fear God, trustworthy men who spurn ill-gotten gains, so you can't bribe them. Set these over them as chiefs of thousands, hundreds, 50s, and tens. So you can see it's the exact same language. And there's more in Deuteronomy 1. Let's go to Deuteronomy 2 right quickly. You'll notice that there are three nations that the Lord says do not harass or provoke. They are here, the Moabites, who come from Lot. As it says here, for I will not give you any of their land as a possession. I have assigned Ar as a possession to the descendants of Lot. It was formerly inhabited by the Emim, a people great and numerous, and as tall as the Anakites being the giants, the children of Anak, the giant. And we said that the names of the Nephilim are found here. The Emim is one of the 7 names of the Nephilim, and you can see the Nephilim are kind of hiding here. You can see the root of Nephilim, Nephal, here spelled out backwards. And if you just take these letters and jumble them around, you can spell out Nephilim, actually. And it just so happens you can find it there alongside 2 names of the Nephilim. Also in Deuteronomy 2, so we had there, do not harass the Moabites, so Moab. Then you will then be close to the Ammonites, who we said are the Cainites. Do not harass them or start a fight with them, for I will not give any part of the land of the Ammonites to you as a possession. I've assigned it as a possession of the children of Lot. It too is counted as Rephaim country. It was formerly inhabited by the Rephaim, whom the Ammonites call Zamzumim. Again, here are 2 more names of the Nephilim. As you can see here, the Rephaim is one of their names, and The Zamzumim is another one of the names of the Nephilim. Interestingly, they say that Jethro has 7 names, and they say that the Nephilim have 7 names, and you can find all those 7 names in this Torah portion. So we have the Moabites, don't mess with, the Ammonites, don't mess with, and Esav, who is Edom. You'll be passing through the land of the descendants of Esav, Edom, who live in Seir. Though they will be afraid of you, be very careful not to provoke them. For I will not give you of their land as much as a foot can tread on. I have given the hill country of Seir as a possession to Esav. So we have Edom, Moab, and Ammon that you cannot mess with. So we said that Jethro had 7 names, and that you could find one of them in this Torah portion. Here are 7 names: Ruel, Yeter, which is the root of Jethro or Jethro, Caini, which is Cainite, Hobab, Heber, which is the name he shares with Moses, as in Heber the Cainite, Putiel, Hobab. But here you can see Yeter, which is Yud, Tav, Resh, and here it is in Deuteronomy 3. Now check this out. This could easily say, and Yeter, but if you take this Vav and add it to the end, it's Jethro. So and then here, of course, giants and Nephilim. So the rest of Gilead and all the Bashan under Og's rule, Og being the Cainite giant who attached himself to Noah's Ark and survived the flood. The whole Argob district, all that part of Bashan, which is called Rephaim country, Nephilim, I assigned to the half-tribe of Manasseh. So whenever I see Yitro's names, it's always a clue, and this is how you can kind of decode the Torah. And this is how the sages obviously did it as well. Because if I click on this verse and go through the commentaries, you'll always find a link to that name every single time. It never fails. So, which the Lord our God swore as an oath to us, meaning this land. This meant that those lands God had sworn to give us to dwell in. By that wording, I'm sorry, I've actually made a mistake here, 1 second. By that wording, we can tell that it was supposed to be a holy usage. Okay, usage of the land. So here you see them talking about it. Okay, the lands which were promised by God were not promised for us to dwell in because these lands did not qualify for the requisite degree of sanctity necessary for the Israelites to develop their personalities in keeping with the Torah imperatives. So the lands weren't, the sanctity of the land or the holiness of the land wasn't up to snuff at that time. Now here's the link. You will find something similar in the case of Ammon, Moab, and Edom, who are identical respectively with the tribes of Caini, who is the Cainites, Kenizzites, and Kadmonites in God's promise to Abraham in Genesis 15. So they're saying here, Ammon, Moab, and Edom are the Cainite, the Kenizzite, and the Kadmonite from the covenant made with Abraham. Now let's go there. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Avram, saying, to your offspring I assign this land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. And then when you look at these nations here, you have the Cainites, the Kenizzites, and the Kadmonites. So we said that you find Jethro here, then you find Caini, which is one of his names, and he is the Cainite. Check this out. You can find Jethro a couple times in this verse. So here he is clearly as the Cainite. Clearly speaking of Jethro. As we see here, Jethro had 7 names, one of which is Cainite. You saw the Cainite reference to Jethro. Okay, so who is the Kenizzite then? If you take the Kenizzite, it has the same value as Yabetz, which is perfect because Yabetz is Othniel ben Kenaz. He is a Kenizzite. So Yabetz and the kenizite have the same value in gematria. Now, where do you find Yabetz's name? The family of the scribes that dwelt at Yabetz. These are the cainites who came from Hamath. So even the cainites and kenizzites are connected in 1 Chronicles 2:55. Now watch this. And then we have the kadmonites. So we know the cainites, kenizzites so far are connected to Jethro clearly. The kadmonites, how are they connected to Jethro? Well, if you take Yitro, it has the value 616, and we said that Jethro is found connected to these two nations here. 616 just happens to be the value of this, we'll say, pointer word and the kadmonite. So you can find Jethro everywhere.